8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The Army Commander requests the public to follow all health guidelines. The health sector stated there will be no travel restrictions or isolation during the festive season. The recoveries from COVID-19 has increased. India will provide vaccines continuously to Sri Lanka. Estate workers expressed their gratitude to the government on receiving their salary hike, and news from overseas, the military pays tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh. Commander of the Army General Shavendra Silva has urged the members of the public to strictly adhere to all health guidelines during the Sinhala and Tamil New Year celebrations. He specifically appealed to them to wear face masks to minimize the spread of COVID-19. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardena, says lockdowns or travel restrictions will not be imposed during the festive season. However, members of the public are expected to follow the relevant health guidelines properly during the Aurudu celebrations, he noted. Dr. Gunawardena made these remarks when speaking to the media following an event held in Colombo this morning. The Ministry of Health says the ratio of COVID recoveries has increased. The ministry said it is at present 96.52%. The Ministry of Health says 184 more patients who were infected with coronavirus has been discharged from medical care. This brings the total number of COVID-19 recoveries in the country thus far to 91,456. According to the daily situation report of the Epidemiology Unit, the majority of recent recoveries were recorded by the Ambalipita Treatment Centre. A total of 2,513 virus-infected patients are currently under medical care at designated hospitals and treatment centres across the country. The total number of COVID-19 cases reported in the country so far has reached 94,336, while the death toll stands at 595. The Government of India has emphasised their cooperation to provide vaccines to Sri Lanka to eradicate the COVID pandemic. The Indian High Commissioner's Office says that 1.2 million doses of the vaccine has already been given to Sri Lanka. The Indian government says the process of the supply of vaccines is being carried out systematically. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
We continue with local news. Estate workers have expressed their gratitude to the government, the President and the Prime Minister for increasing the daily wages to 1,000 rupees. The Salary Administrative Council has taken this decision recently. It has been reported that the estate workers are receiving their salary hike. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa had proposed this hike in the budget proposal to increase the daily wages of estate workers up to 1,000 rupees. The police says special operations will be implemented from today during the festive season. The objective of this move is to minimize accidents and see to the safety of the public. He also said that raids will be conducted continuously to nab persons who are violating quarantine rules. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that measures will be taken to arrest drunken drivers during this time. Next, the main news story.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking along with cardless cash facilities can now be open in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka commenced payment of the increased compensation amount of 500,000 rupees under the Sri Lanka Deposit Insurance and Liquidity Support Scheme to depositors, relevant legal beneficiaries of the Central Investment and Finance Limited, the Standard Credit Finance Limited, TKS Finance Limited, the Finance Company PLC, ETI Finance Limited, and Swarn Mahal Financial Services PLC. That was the main news story. Watchlight is next.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
We take a look at Watchlight. Residents of Pittigala say they are facing many difficulties because the demarcation of boundaries of plots of lands near the forest cover of Pittigala, Bambarawana, Himidumkanda and Pandula have not been carried out. They point out that there is a threat to the destruction of valuable timber in the forest cover. They request the relevant authorities to mark the boundaries of their land. This is for the attention of the officials of the Forest Conservation Department. That was a look at Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. The military pays tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh. Iran pledges to press ahead with uranium program. Lost Golden City found in Egypt reveals lives of ancient pharaohs. Gun salutes to mark the death of the Duke of Edinburgh have taken place across the UK, in Gibraltar, and from warships at sea. Saluting batteries fired 41 rounds in cities including London, Edinburgh and Cardiff, and at Hillsborough Castle in County Down. Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II's husband of 73 years, died yesterday at Windsor Castle. He was 99. The Duke of York and the Earl of Wessex visited the Queen ahead of the salutes. The Countess of Wessex said, "The Queen has been amazing," as she left the castle with her husband. It is understood that Prince Charles travelled there to visit his mother last afternoon. Meanwhile, the Duke of Edinburgh's children have shared their reflections on their father's life, his astonishing achievement and his legacy. The Prince of Wales told the BBC his energy was astonishing in supporting his mama and doing it for such a long time. He's always been there as that rock in the Queen's life, said the Earl of Wessex. The Princess Royal praised the double act he created with the monarch. And the Duke of York fondly recalled Prince Philip as a father spending time with his family. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says his country will press ahead with the nuclear development. Rouhani's statement came today at an event attended by engineers involved in the nuclear development. He said centrifuges for enriching uranium that have significantly higher performance than conventional ones are undergoing technical tests, and that Iran will not let anyone in the world say its nuclear development is unlawful. Indirect talks between the United States and Iran, brokered by the European Union and other relevant countries, started this month. The discovery of a 3,000-year-old city that was lost to the sands of Egypt has been hailed as one of the most important archaeological finds since Tutankhamun's tomb. Famed Egyptologist Zahi Hawass announced the discovery of the lost city near Luxor on Thursday. He said the find was the largest ancient city known as Aten, even uncovered in Egypt. It was unearthed within a week of the excavation starting in September 2020. The city continues to be used by the pharaohs Ai and Tutankhamun, whose nearly intact tomb was discovered in the Valley of the Kings by British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922. To end this bulletin of world news, we'll take a look at the headlines again. The military pays tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh. Iran pledges to press ahead with uranium program. Lost Golden City found in Egypt reveals lives of ancient pharaohs. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
The best discount in this Urdu season. People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by CIB Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
The Lunava Seaview residential housing scheme will be vested with the public. 1,400 million rupees was spent for the construction of the housing scheme, which comprises of a 3-storied housing complex. There are 350 houses with all facilities. The housing scheme has been named as Saubhagya Piasa. Director General of the Urban and Housing Development Authority, retired Major General Udaya Nanayakkara, said that any homeless person can purchase a house between 4.5 million and 5.5 million rupees. That was a look at development news. Sports news follows.
Development News was brought to you by CIB Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
On to sports news. The main squad of the Bangladesh team for the Test cricket series to be played with the Sri Lanka team are to be named. The chief of the selection committee of the Bangladesh Cricket Board, Minga Jul Abedin, said Bangladesh team comprises a squad of 21. The uncapped pace trio of Shoriful Islam, Mukidul Islam Mugdho and Shohidul Islam have received their maiden call-ups after an impressive domestic season. 2 test matches are to be played between the two nations. That was a look at sports news. Business news is up next.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The chili cultivation project began with the use of organic fertilizer targeting the export sector. The cultivation activities will be carried out on a 200-acre piece of land in the Mahaveli H and C zones. 200 farmers have been identified for this project. The project is being implemented with aid from the World Bank. That was business news. Economic news will follow.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The central bank is continuously maintaining its monetary policies. At a meeting of Monetary Board, the bank has decided to maintain the permanent monetary deposit ratio at 4.50 and permanent loan facilities at 5.6%. That was business news. Finally, a look at the weather report.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places over most parts of the island in the evening or at night. Fairly heavy falls, above 50 millimetres, can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central, Uva and Western provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts. That was a look at the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Army Commander requests the public to follow all health guidelines. The health sector stated there will be no travel restrictions or isolation during the festive season. The recoveries from COVID-19 has increased. India will provide vaccines continuously to Sri Lanka. Estate workers expressed their gratitude to the government on receiving their salary hike. And news from overseas, the military pays tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh. That ends tonight's news broadcast. And the MSIS Express is still under repairs and refurbishment. It has to be in perfect working order before we start. So your dear friend and mine, Victor Raj, and I will keep you company until close of transmission at 10.